This is a video that Don has put together of the MacKenzie Center, kind of a virtual tour for those that have not been able to come out and see the property. Feel free to stop it when you need to. There's a lot of information in here. Should be helpful. This is a shot of coming down Highway CS by the front entrance and showing the sign that the Poynette High School made. And this is a sign as soon as you get into the property. It shows our exhibit hours. Coming down the main road here, we'll see the bison pasture on the left and the fire tower there. This is a shot of the bison in the wintertime. They show up more with the snow. Past the bison area is where the public comes in and parks to check out the property, and where the buses come in as well for groups that we have. This is the area the buses would park in, and pretty soon there's the Badger Den that we'll see that houses the conference room on the first floor, and the some staff, law enforcement and forestry staff on the second floor. This is a picture of the kiosk and the donation box that is held in front of the Badger Den. We only have 3. Here's an example of the old garbage and recycling cans and the new ones that we got donated from the Department of Transportation. This sign is a picture of the new sign that the Poynette High School students made. This area is where we will walk. The public would walk across the parking lot, across the main road, to the entrance area of the wildlife area. Fire tower would be to the left, and to the right, the path kind of splits. So you would go down to the maple and logging area to the right. This is an example of signs that need to be replaced that we're working on replacing. Fire tower and the Smoky Bear exhibit. This is a fire tower that students or anyone can climb. It goes up to about 40 feet, which is halfway. They could get a good look around and see the bison from that area as well. This path takes us down to the wildlife area entrance, which leads down to the white-tailed deer enclosure, which is our largest enclosure at this point. This is the gated area for the wildlife entrance. This is an example of a new sign in the wildlife area. All of the enclosures have chain link fence, as shown here. These are a couple of the wolves that we have. This is a teaching station that we have set up for that educators take them through and give them examples of different ways of caring for the animals. We've done a lot of work in the wildlife area, clearing the brush and invasive species out of there. We have an eagle exhibit, the large nest in there. Cutoff tree is an example of where we're going to be building a new eagle nest for the visitors to be able to see the actual size of them. Next is a picture of an informal trail or a path that attendees that come to the lodge area and stay overnight so use to get to the wildlife area. There are several species of trees throughout the property, and this is an example of a tag on a tree identifying the type of tree it is. Next we have an example of old signage again that we're in the process of replacing. This area features our maple and logging museum area. An old log cabin is shown here. This entire area is kind of a separated area where there's an old logging museum there. Here we're going into and looking at the inside the log cabin at the logging museum. Another example of the sawmill. This area is the sugar bush house where the pan in the back of the metal pan in the back of this picture shows where they boil the sap down. We actually do this demonstration through the 5 weeks of maple education and then the public maple festival. Here's an example of new signs and old signs as we transition to all new signs. Again, the top sign where it says wildlife area was made by the Poynette School class. In our partnership with the Ho-Chunk Nation that we're building, that we have this Chipotle shell that's located on the property made of rebar, and there are times throughout the year where this is covered to represent that what the Ho-Chunk Nation did with skins, and it's one of their homes. And then during Maple Education and Maple Fest, we have someone inside the Chipotake that's been covered, and which is like a Native American home, doing interpretation for them. This is the area leading down to our nature pond and orchard area next to the maple syrup finishing house. The nature pond has a decking on there as a part of our education program where students can go out and net the pond water. And this is an example of a donation from from a particular school that our Poinet High School students actually built the bench. This is a shot of the road, the main entrance road, only coming from the south end. Heading to the left, you would have the State Game Farm. Our picnic area has about 30 picnic tables, a nice orchard, and a plumbed restrooms where the public can rent the picnic shelter for different events. Enjoyed by many different people. There's a picture of the restrooms there, and the shelter that people are renting out by the day. On the far south end of the property is our trailheads. We have one parking lot that all 4 trails start and end at. They loop back around. One trail, the wildlife trail in particular, is ADA accessible and paved throughout the trail, and each one is about a mile long. And then there is prairies in different phases established at the trailheads. Now we're going to head back down the main road and head east to the lodge and dormitory area. More prairies on the left and right. This road takes us through another particular prairie planting, another example of a sign of where we've been in the past. Service area for hay and salt storage. Then there's a berm area where we host several different things, safety programs, ATV, snowmobile, hunter safety in this area. This parking lot area is the main parking lot for the lodge, and activities that happen down there. You can see that these are all associated with the lodge, dormitories, and education program. Fire rings where we teach campfire safety and building. This is the lodge itself, the main lodge, a classroom, large classroom that's in the lodge. Another workshop classroom within the lodge, the main hallway, and the cafeteria area. It's a kind of a multi-purpose room. Commercial kitchen, we are licensed with the Department of Health and 2 different licenses for the commercial kitchen. These are the dormitories. They are split in half. There's actually 4 dormitories. The type of bunks that we have within them. This is a picture of a survival shelter that was built during a class. There are several games that are played in paths and trails around the lodge. Next we have a picture of our conservation exhibit. There's a picture of Paul Bunyan. You can see the conservation barn is in need of repair, like most of our facilities need. And there's also, we'll go inside and you can see how we're working on needing to bring things up to date. This is a picture of the shop area, also the wildlife exhibits, food preparation area. Then a compost display where there's different types and styles of composting. The next picture is of the administration building where the public restrooms are located. The one pop machine on the property. Examples of some of the postings that we have throughout the property. This is the picture of one LP tank of several on the property, which we're very excited about being able to convert to natural gas, which should be completed before the 2015 heating season. And last, we have a picture of the shuttle that we get a lot of use out of. The more the word gets around, we do a lot of shuttling back and forth with the Poinet School District, bring them out to the property for an hour and a half class and take them back. It's a huge savings for them, and they end up using, as we have a formal memorandum of understanding agreement with them now, making the partnership official in the making the MacKenzie Center their outdoor classroom.